Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Last Wrestling Podcast, because if I have a wrestling podcast, everybody else in the world does too, and the concept is officially dead. Just like last night, it is less than 5 minutes since I have returned to my apartment from Wrestle Kingdom Night 2 in Tokyo Dome. And this will be my, I did a top 10 accidentally last time, so this will be my top 10 thoughts coming out of the show. No script, just gonna ramble here, gonna go stream of consciousness, try to get 10 items. Spoiler warning in effect. If you have not seen the show, not read the results, and you do not want to know what has happened until you can see the replay, well, this is your time to turn off now. I appreciate the click. Please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, enable notifications, all of that happy fun YouTube stuff. Spoiler alert in 3, 2, 1, fuck Kenta. Number 1, oh my god, what an amazing main event that was. Japanese crowds are famous for being, and sometimes infamous, I should say, for being very quiet, very subdued, not really getting into the action, not being particularly raucous. This was the exception. The building shook when Okada kicked out of the first Destino. Every time Naito kicked out of the Rainmaker. Every time there was a near fall, really past the 35 minute mark of the match. Every time there was a massive kick out, especially when Naito did something good, people were stamping their feet to the point it felt like an earthquake. I thought an earthquake hit the first time. And I've got seismophobia, so that wasn't fun. But yeah, the Tokyo Dome rocked in that main event. And in the end, Destino 1, 2, 3, everybody counting along, standing freaking vation. I have never seen a Japanese crowd do that. I have never seen a Japanese crowd jump to their feet, which actually you're specifically told not to do during the good manners and the rules of the show thing that they do before each event. But nobody cared at this point. Everybody jumped to their feet in celebration of Naito's victory, double champion, double gold dash winner, IWGP Heavyweight Intercontinental Champion, Naito Tetsuya. And it was orgasmic. A nice guy from, judging by the accent, Australia, that I ran into on the concourse on the way out, was saying, I don't even smoke, but I need a cigarette after that. I echo the sentiment. And then, number 2, fuck Kenta. Naito is ready to do his final thing of, getting everybody to celebrate, with the whole chant of Los Ingobernables de Japón, when Kenta blindsides him, beats the shit out of him, gives him the go to sleep, poses over Naito's corpse with both of the belts, and then hightails it, and I genuinely thought somebody was going to jump him. And so did the young boys in the ring crew, judging from the reaction. I'm not sure if it got... There was a couple of times I think my voice might have gotten on audio. One of them was... I got some backslaps and some good jobs from the other fans when I yelled at Kenta, because I was actually seated, positioned pretty close to floor level. I was about 15 rows up near one of the exit points. So actually I had great seats tonight. Much better than last night when I was up in the cheap bleachers. But yeah, Kenta comes by. He is in easy shouting distance, and I've got, as you can probably tell, I've got a voice that projects. So I just yelled at him, "Go back to NXT!" And that got a huge pop from the fans in attendance. And I don't feel bad about that. I realize the focus should be on the wrestlers, but I'm playing into the story. I'm treating the heel like he's a heel. So that got me a couple of laughs and a backslap from the guy sitting behind me. Yeah, but okay. Dude, Gedo. New Year's Dash. I know you need to set up a new challenger. I know you've got Osaka Joe Hall coming up pretty quick. But that's what New Year's Dash is for. Give Naito his bloody moment. He didn't even get to leave with the belts. Calming down a little bit. Number 3. I'm a little worried about what's happening in New Japan next year. As is customary, they did the big match calendar video package. I'm assuming this was on the New Japan World feed as well. And it wasn't particularly unusual until they got to the summer. Or after the summer. It was announced that G1 Climax, the 30th G1 Climax, will be in the fall. Aki no G1. And that shocked quite a few people. And then it kind of ended. There was no announcement of a Wrestle Kingdom 15. There was no announcement for January the 4th, 2021. And there was no announcement of anything in the Tokyo Dome next year. So, did this event not do as well as they thought it was going to do? Did this event... are there going to be more logistical issues? Because it's obvious the reason that G1's being moved to the fall is because of the Olympics, booking every venue in Tokyo and Chiba and now Sapporo. But that wouldn't affect January the 4th next year. Was this the last Wrestle Kingdom? I don't know. I don't think so. They'd be mad. But unless there's some logistical excuse, I genuinely have no idea what's happening now, so stay tuned for more news on that. Number 4, the crowd, or the lack thereof. Not as full tonight. I didn't get a good look at the upper balcony behind where I was sitting, because I just couldn't see it from the angle I was at. The floor was completely full. The lower bowl was almost full. There were a few empty seats, including the seat next to me didn't get sold, so yay for extra legroom. Up in the top balcony parts that I could see, there was a whole section that was virtually empty. There were a few people sitting there, but it was full the previous night, and since there were a few people, that means that section was for sale and didn't sell. Now, my situation is unusual. I actually have a day off tomorrow because of a weird way my schedule's working out this year. Most people have to go to work in the morning. So the Sunday is a bad day to do this show, and I think that did affect ticket sales. So that maybe the fact they didn't technically have 2 sellouts of the Dome is going to be a factor, and maybe they're not coming back. Maybe they figure it's not worth it anymore. Or Bushi Road has something to do with this. I have no idea. Number 5. Thank you, Liger. Thank you, Liger. Thank you, Liger. I feel genuinely honored and privileged to have been a part of the final Jushin Thunder Liger match. And again, this is the second time, or the first time actually, that I think it's possible my voice got on the audio for the show, because I just felt the need. It was just inside me and it came out. I didn't even intend it originally. At the moment, when Liger was getting ready to give his promo at the end, to give his thank you message, I just yelled at the top of my lungs, Raiga arigato. And that started it, and it was right before a chant started. So maybe that got on the audio for the feed, maybe it didn't. But that was my heartfelt opinion, because this man has meant so much to professional wrestling, to the generation of wrestlers that he inspired, including indirectly me. I'm not a wrestler, obviously, but my passion and love for professional wrestling as it is today is thanks very much to a promotion that I've talked about a great deal on this podcast, Chikara. And Chikara founder Mike Quackenbush has, on more than one occasion, talked about the inspiration that he took from Jushin Thunder Liger. And maybe I'll tell the story another time, but there was a time in my life when Chikara really helped me emotionally. After the death of my parents, Chikara really helped me through the grieving process. I know that sounds ridiculous, it sounds insane, and I'll tell the full story someday, but that day is not today. It's just that my life has been significantly improved by Chikara Pro, and Chikara would not exist without Mike Quackenbush. Mike Quackenbush arguably would not exist without Jushin Thunder Raiga. So, Raiga Senshu, 本当にありがとうございました。お疲れ様でした。Please, sir, enjoy your retirement. You have more than earned it. Number 6, match of the night other than the main event. Nothing's going to top that, but my personal favorite match, just as a match to watch, not impacted by storyline, not impacted by crowd reaction, but just a fun match to watch. I would like to go back and watch the replay to get a better look at it. Is Sanada versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Heavyweight Championship, the Rev Pro British Heavyweight Championship. That was beautiful. I appreciate good technical wrestling, and this was an amazing technical wrestling, scientific wrestling, whatever you want to call it, match. And it was just barrels of fun to watch. It was fairly short, but it worked. Number 7, AEW. Okay, first of all, as you saw if you watched the show, Chris Jericho was announced as AEW World Champion. AEW Seikai Champion, I think is how they said it in Japanese. Seikai, of course, meaning world. So let the rumor mill spin! Round and round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody cares. Is there going to be a working relationship between New Japan Pro Wrestling and AEW? Jon Moxley is still the New Japan, the IWGP United States Champion. Will that be acknowledged on AEW television? I don't know. Tanahashi, unfortunately, did not win his match against Jericho, tapping out to the Lion Tamer after surviving the walls of Jericho for a good couple of minutes. Jericho was able to step back into the old school Lion Tamer, and that is what it took to bring down the ace of New Japan. By the way, if you're wondering what was up with all the lime green in Tanahashi's outfit, that was a reference to, once again, the current and reigning Kamen Rider, Kamen Rider 01, specifically his upgraded form of Shining Hopper. It's a great series, honestly. 01's been fantastic. If you're into tokusatsu at all and you're not watching Kamen Rider 01, you really, really, really should. You can see where Tanahashi gets a lot of his stuff from. But back to AEW's Jon Moxley. He now has a match set up with Minoru freaking Suzuki, which leads us to number 8, Suzuki sticking around. I made a big deal in my predictions video that if Suzuki's leaving, what's going to happen to Suzuki-gun? Who's going to betray Suzuki? Who's going to kick him out? Who's going to take over the leadership, a la Kenny Omega kicking AJ Styles out of Bullet Club? None of that happened. They did a major setup of Suzuki versus Jon Moxley, presumably for the United States Championship, and I want to see that. Not enough to go all the way to Osaka for it, which is where that's most likely going to happen, but still, I want to watch that match. Number 9, I would like to take this moment to give a big shout out to the staff and the crew at the Tokyo Dome. Most of these people, judging by their t-shirts and their badges and all their gear, don't work for New Japan. They worked for Tokyo Dome, or they were I think some of them were contracted help at the merchandise tables. But top to bottom, this was a professionally done show. Getting into the arena, if you've never been to Tokyo Dome, and I realize a lot of people haven't, there's actually more than one gate. There's about, well, technically, I think the highest number is gate 40. but most of the entrances, it was on your ticket when you got it, which gate you were supposed to go to. So the entrance, the however many tens of thousands of people, were actually going in through several different gates. And it was very quick, very simple, very effective, quick baggage check of any handbags that you had. And some people were bringing, full suitcases full of supplies and cosplay and all sorts of cool stuff. But it was a very quick security check. They got you in. The staff was incredibly helpful. The people at the counters were had incredibly good service. The merchandise people were great, very friendly, even in the cold, even in the wind. The nice ladies who were dispensing the overpriced drinks did so with great professionalism. Not a drop spilled of beer or shochu or lemon sour or whatever was being sold. They were dispensing drinks with absolute precision. Uh, Japan is famous for good service, for omotenashi, for being good to people, and the team at Tokyo Dome more than lived up to the nation's ideals of service, of mindfulness of others, and of work ethic. So I would like to take this moment to thank everybody at Tokyo Dome, everybody who was contracted to help, and everybody at New Japan, other than the wrestlers, other than the announcers, other than the play-by-play people, all of the young boys, all of the ring crew, all of the camera guys, the sound guys, everybody who was involved with the spotlights and the lasers and the pyro and the smoke. Everything went to absolute perfection as far as I could tell, and that is deserving of praise. And I give them what little praise I can, what little platform I can. Congratulations to the team. Very well put together show. Arigato gozaimashita. Number 10, where are we and where are we going? All right, taking a look at Wikipedia, which has already been updated with the new champions. Very, very well done. Let's take a look at this here, going down the list. Of course, Okada, double champion. IWGP Heavyweight Intercontinental Champion. Jon Moxley, United States Heavyweight Champion. Hiroki Goto, the new Never Openweight Champion. Finjuice, the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles. Los Ingobernables de Japon's Hiromu Takahashi is the Junior Heavyweight Champion. Roppongi 3K are the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. And LIJ Team Evil, Shingo Takagi, Bushi are the Never Openweight Six-Man titles, champions. That means 1, 2, 3, 4 belts, or sets of belts, currently held by Los Ingobernables de Japón, and 1 belt held by an outsider, that's Jon Moxley. 2 sets of titles currently held by Chaos, that's Goto with the Never Openweight title, and the Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles held by Roppongi 3K, Yo and Sho, the former Tempura Boys, as they will always be in my heart. And we've got 1 belt currently held by... Apparently Finjuice are officially members of Taguchi Japan, according to Wikipedia. I hope that's wrong. I'm just going to call them unaffiliated because it makes me feel better in my soul. But right now, LIJ is the most dominant group. And considering the level of popularity, once again, 90% this time, LIJ merchandise in general. By the way, I now own an LIJ hat. I look somewhat stupid in it, but you know what? I look stupid in pretty much everything I wear, so who cares? They are the top team to beat, and it looks like we're going to be getting at least a main event level feud between LIJ and Bullet Club, or what's left of it. And while I think this is all building up to New Beginning in Osaka-jo Hall, it's going to start tomorrow at New Year's Dash. I couldn't get a ticket. I'll be watching on the computer just like everybody else. And who knows, if I've got the mental and physical energy, I might do a live-ish review. Keep the algorithm fed with stuff that isn't, completely flagged automatically. Thank you for listening. Please leave a comment if you have any questions about what it was like at the show. I'll be happy to talk about it in the comments. I'll respond to pretty much anything that isn't obvious spam. And until next time on the Last Wrestling Podcast, catchphrase sign off.